What's up, Rubits? Little Big Robots back with another quick video. Well, I don't know about quick anymore, but anyway, I thought I would do a review of the latest McFarlane Warhammer figs, and that's going to be the Darktide series. So I've got four of them here. I've got the Ogryn, the three of the soldiers, and I'm going to go through them all relatively quickly. I don't unbox them. I take them out of the box because I hate that process. It takes so long. But we're going to start with this big guy here. Ooh, this big guy here, the Ogryn. The Ogryn is, if you're not familiar with Warhammer, it's just like it sounds. He is an ogre. Ogre meets a human. I think they call him ab-human, A-B human, like a kind of like a mutant, I guess is the term. Let's see if that will actually focus. I'm still learning the sweet spot for this thing. But as you know, usual with McFarlane's lines, they'll have some really good details you can see there. But they'll often not have a great paint job, as you can also see there. So you can see all the details in the pants and the cool textures and stuff like that. So that always works with McFarlane. They always have a really nice texture, really nice details, but their paint jobs are not really that great. They'll have a little dry brushing here and there, and you might get a special one once in a while that has a little bit more. But in general, this Warhammer line has been fantastic builds and stuff, or fantastic molds, but not the greatest paint, as you can see. But I mean, again, that's a cool looking figure. And I haven't played the game yet. Man, this really messes me up trying to. I haven't played the game yet, but I know that these do look like the characters, so that's cool. He comes in this great big box, and I wanted to point some out here because this is how I fold my boxes. Whenever I'm done with them, I fold them down like this, and I store them, and I do save pretty much most of my boxes, unless it's like a something I've had a million of or several copies of or whatever. And all of this line was on sale on McFarlane for half off. So I got the Ogryn for $20 and the other three for $10. But wanted to show you this though. This is the insert that came from the Ogryn. And what's so upsetting about this is that if you look at this background here, it looks really cool. It's got a really nice, sorry to blow you out there. You see the nice icons and stuff like that? This would make a fantastic background for some toy photography. And McFarlane loves to put these inside the box like that. And you're like, cool, a cool background. A lot of toys do this. They'll put like a cool little background insert. And then you realize they did something to screw it up. In this case, they put the little tiny stand. I also want to point that out. This is the same size stand that comes with all their 7-inch figs. I don't know who's making the call to keep those stands in there. Maybe it's cheaper. But on a big guy like this, you need a stand that's at least twice the size, right? I mean, imagine if they put a stand that could cover from 1 foot to the other. It wouldn't have to be using that much more material, and that's what's really kind of jerky about it. Now, luckily, this guy stands pretty well on his own. The Space Marines and the Orcs do as well in the right position, but you can't do much with them because they don't give you a 25 cent or 30 cent piece of plastic for a stand. Now, maybe there's some third-party stands out there I can use, but it drives me crazy that you paid $40 for this guy or $45 for this guy, however much he was without discount, and you get one little round stand that is the size that you get on these standard figs here, like this guy. This one here, let me get them all right while I'm going through them because I forgot their names. So the first one I have here is the, which one is this one? Traitor Guard. So he's a guardsman who's turned traitor, and that means, of course, that he is going to be all chaosed out and looking gross. Again, fantastic build. I think he looks really cool. The molds are always really cool. He's got the little traitor markings and everything like that. But look at how much, there's some pretty extreme shadow and light here, so you're seeing a lot of the great details in that way. But without this light, you don't really get that. So imagine that with a nice little dry brushing. That's why these are not that bad of a deal, even with the kind of cruddier paint jobs. And that's because, man, I need a haircut. And that's because Warhammer people are used to painting figs and stuff like that, or painting models, so they could easily touch that up, paint it or whatever. I'm not going to go through all their articulation. They're about as articulated as the entire line. They can do your basic moves and stuff. They can't really hold a great position for like kneeling or whatever, even holding a gun sometimes in a crazy way. They really don't work that great. For example, the Ogryn here, to hold that gun, he's not even able to hold it. As you can see, he's got the right hand holding it and the left hand is supposed to hold the stock thing there, and can't do that. I've tried to squeeze it in there, and there's just some kind of golden way to do it that squeezes him, and I can't do it. McFarlane is funny in this way. They will do stuff where they have an amazing art piece come out like this. They put it together. They look at the print copies and say, hey, let's test it out. But at the same time, they don't seem to do any quality checking on the fit of like holding that weapon, or how well does it stand by itself, or do we need to provide a stand for this thing because it's more of like a statue than a toy. I understand that, but the Trader Guard is cool. I think he looks fantastic. I was wondering if I put him in some of my lights here, you get some of those cool color, the different color differences, and you'll see those eyes will really shine and pick up some of the color. So the Trader Guard is nice. Next, I've got the, who do I have here? The Veteran Guardsmen. This one looks good again, but you'll see on the face, oops, if I get really close here, let's see how close this thing can zoom. Come on, buddy, you can do it. I just bought this webcam, and I'm trying to learn it still. So see on the face, you see the silver rebreathers there, the little vents. Those are just kind of slapped on there, like the bright silver insignias. Again, with just a basic little wash or whatever, this thing would look really, really good. You see the little regular stand works for him just fine. He can stand on that once. Oops. God, this new camera's driving me crazy. He can stand on it just fine on your shelf, and was able to actually stand alone, without the stand as well, so that, you can do that. But again, these, if you add it to the regular Marine lineup, and I have all the Space Marines and all the Orcs right now, I just have my setup kind of getting real, I'm simplifying everything. I don't want to put so much on the shelf. But these guys alongside those Space Marines are going to look incredible. I should mess with the doing the focus myself while I do this. That might help. I'll mess with that next time. But they look great. I mean, again, in this strong light with these strong shadows, you really do see some of the fantastic details in these guys. So the problem is never the molds. It's never really the design. The problem is the fit of their bodies, like how they hold a position, how they realistically stand or do something cool in a position. They don't do too much of that, and the problem is the paint is just not is usually just not that pretty. It could be just a bit more. Like Joy Toy, if you look at Joy Toy and stuff like that, what they do to their mechs and even their figures, is they're not adding tons and tons of detail to drive the price way up there. They can be pretty expensive, but they add enough to make it, look. And then here's the last one that I've got, which is I think it's the Trader. Another Trader Guard, I guess. This guy looks cool. I want to get a close-up of this guy because he looks really cool. So you can see his face, really nice detail. Looks really, really cool. Again, look at the silver on the gun. There's no wash at all. If there was just a wash on there, that would look fantastic. And he's holding his gun really strangely because I could not get it to sit right. I think that finger's got to go in the trigger hole, and I couldn't get it, so I'll mess with it some more. But again, a really, really nice looking figure. Fantastic detail. Oops, fantastic details. Why don't you go ahead and focus, buddy? Like that. There you go. Fantastic, fantastic details. Again, in the strong light, you're gonna see more of the details than you might in person. But I mean, then you might just sitting on your shelf or in straight flat light. But really, really cool. At minimum, you're getting some cool weapons and some cool figures if you want to do some customizing. At $10, I honestly should have bought 2 of every one of them because I'm going to be doing a lot of customizing and stuff. But honestly, my favorite is easily the Ogryn. The Ogryn is just a big, beefy guy, and what I like about that is he's going to be able to stand alongside the Space Marines and still look really intimidating, and alongside the Orcs and all that. And that's just a huge, huge chunk of plastic. One kind of point that's funny, though, is his gun here, which I probably won't pose him with the gun. The guns, I find them usually kind of boring. The gun is, usually their guns for these figures are really a hard plastic. I mean, like a thick, hard rubber. This is just a basic plastic gun, so you can probably hear. It's just like you can see the seam line there. It's two pieces put together, so it's a really, really basic gun with no paint applied at all. So you just throwing a wash on this and wiping it off, you'd get all those really, really cool details in that gun. So, but the Ogryn without the gun, if you look at him, I just love how he looks standing here. He just looks just a freaking linebacker. I mean, I think this is the only Ogryn they're making for this line. It would be cool. Now, I guess he's a character, or whatever, but I think it'd be really, really cool if they made more than one that looked kind of different or whatever. But other than that, you could customize the hell out of this guy and make him look really. He's got those cool fist things. He's got his kill marks on his arm. Really, really, just a fantastic addition. Now, the question I always ask is, are these worth the normal price without the discounts? Because these things go on discount a lot. If you know McFarlane Toys go on discount a hell of a lot. And I would say that for $40, you're pushing it a bit on these guys, but it is a great collectible Warhammer figure. I don't think that they're going to make many more of these. He seems like he does he did the Fortnite run for a couple years and then stopped. So I'm betting that something like this is probably not going to be that available forever. So if you can get one for $20 like I did on half off, I mean, he's fantastic. Look at the details in his I mean, in this light, they look so much better. See how I have the really strong shadows? I think for this one, the guy is, I mean, just it really makes you appreciate what a little lighting can do for some of these figures. I mean, it's probably a little bit more of an effect on my screen than on yours, but what a great set of designs. I don't know that the characters that were 24, 25 are really worth that amount without a discount. So that's up to you, but I'm collecting the line. I don't collect a lot of lines anymore. I find that when I collect a line, I tend to get where I don't like them all, so I end up not collecting all of them anyway. I'm not a completionist. I don't care about that stuff. But this line, I do want all of them. And I'm only missing a few little artist copy ones. What do you call it? Artist blank ones. So I'll pick those up. But again, fun line. I'm happy to see the ogre. I mean, if you want to see some of his articulation, I could show you. But it's not much. It's going to be stuff like that. You know, it's the same with the Space Marines. There's not much articulation, so don't really stress about that. Just go look up some photos of him, and you'll see what you can do. He's not. I don't think he has any type of waist. Oops. He has any type of waist movement at all, really. I mean, I guess I could force it, but I don't really want to. He looks cool just standing like a linebacker. Fantastic. The Ogryn is awesome. I could use 4 of those and paint them up and customize them. That would look incredible. But anyway, thought you guys and girls and others out there would enjoy a new look at some of these the Darktide ones. As usual, I'm always doing toy reviews. I do 2 or 3 a week, maybe 2 or 6 or 8 a month. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 4,000. Leave a comment. I love comments. I love talking to people about the toys. But tell me what you think. I think they're awesome. I think they're great, really great for toy photography, where you can control the lighting and really bring out the details. Unless you're putting a wash on these guys, just out of the box, you really need a strong lighting effect to really make them look cool. So have a good one, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.